What's up, everybody? How's it going? So, today we're doing a leg workout, part of the push pull leg split. As you can see here, we're warming up with the bar. I just like warming up with the movement. There's something about these compound movements where I've learned that the more you warm up with the actual movement itself, the better that's going to set yourself up to do well when you start adding some serious weight on. So right here, just warming up the bar, trying to keep my back straight as possible, get my butt as low as possible, and keep my core nice and tight while having that hip drive go forward and upward at the same time. So first warm-up set I like to do actually no weight on the bar and no bar at all. I just didn't record that. Second set I like to do the bar just so I can get used to how that feels in my back. And on the third warm-up set, I like to finally start adding some weight. So here's 135. Now, usually I would get this moving straight out of the chamber and focus on speed. But for this session, my calves were really tight, and I almost had like a sort of shin splint kind of sensation. So I couldn't really focus as much as explosiveness. So I put more emphasis on just getting low, getting as low as I could in that chamber, and exploding up. And so as you can see with the warm-up sets here, I just slowly add more and more to the bar until I get to my working sets. Now usually I start my working sets at about 225, but one of the things I've learned about myself is that if I let myself get too comfortable with a starting weight, I'm actually not really challenging myself. So now my starting weight for working sets on squats is 245 because I can do it. Just takes a little bit more added effort. You could see it on my face here. And every time I do my first working set, it always feels a little shaky, whether it's bench press, squat, deadlift, whatever it is. So it's really weird how sometimes my last set, even though I'm at my most exhausted, I will actually feel a lot more comfortable doing the movement. Right here, I'm just doing some stretching, mainly for my calves. I didn't even really know what to do. I wanted a roller, but I couldn't let this rack go because there were so many people at the gym in this day. And even though I had my bag here to preserve my spot, I felt like if I walked away for 5 seconds, someone was gonna start taking the weights off my rack, so I didn't want that. So just a little bit of a calf stretch to get those loosened up. And here I'm just checking the weight to make sure it's even on both sides, but also I'm trying to hold in a fart really bad. I know it may not seem like it. I'm rubbing my hands together so no one will notice. And like sometimes when you want to fart really bad when you're about to squat, you think to yourself, number one, is it going to be loud? Because if it's loud, you can't really hide it at that point. There's other people around you at the gym. You say I got my beats on, so I would be in another world if other people are just a big release of wind coming in the rack right next to them. So I tried to wait for these people to move away from me next to me. But anyway, yeah, right here I think I'm doing, I want to say like 260 or so. Just 5 reps for a working set. And again, really focusing on getting that butt as low as possible. Right here I attempted to do a working set of 285, I believe. And one of the big things I have to remember when it comes to especially legs for me, now for bench press this is not the case because I want to get my numbers up on that significantly, but for the squat, you know, I see a lot of people do 400 and 500 pounds at my same age, 22 or even younger than me. And while it is impressive and more power to those guys and girls doing that, I do want to focus more on preserving my knees for longevity. I'm not just training to be a bodybuilder and really muscular. I want to actually have an athletic type build, be able to run fast, be able to jump high. So I'm focusing a lot more on putting the emphasis on the movement itself. And this workout was really good and refreshing for me in that sense because I got as low as I possibly could, and I tried to make sure that every single rep was quality. And you're going to hear me say that word a lot in the upcoming weeks as far as my leg workouts in particular. I want to focus more on quality of the lift itself, as opposed to the weight I'm doing. Now for deadlift and bench, that's not necessarily the case, just because I feel confident enough in my technique in those aspects to where I just need to put more weight on the bar and challenge myself. And that just comes with time. Obviously I got to be patient, but with squatting, not the exact same case. So the next thing I like to do after I squat is actually go into weighted pistol squats. Now a lot of people might wonder why I do this right after the squat. Well, number one, my legs are pretty fatigued, especially the quads from the squats, so I like to do this movement. Oh, see right here, I was still trying to hold in that fart. That's why I'm standing. I'm like, oh, someone gonna notice? And that guy kind of looked. I'm waiting for him to look away. Okay, I'm thinking about it. Okay, we're good. So as I was saying, I like to do weighted pistol squats because while my legs are really fatigued, it puts a different kind of challenge on the movement itself. And this is actually more of a core workout too. I like this because, again, this is a type of exercise that focuses a lot on balance and core strength. Two things that I want to get better at, and that'll also help me with lifting in general. But again, you know, lifting isn't just a linear thing for me. It's not just about getting stronger and putting more weight on the bar and being an elite power lifter or even being a bodybuilder, but I just want to I still want to have that balance and that strength in that aspect. Core strength has always been something I feel like I've kind of lacked, and after marching Boston Crusaders and wearing the quads every single day, you know, every hour of the day, it just kind of taught me that having core strength is just good. You feel a lot more confident in yourself doing, you know, movements like this. But also after I started doing more core movements, I've noticed my core on workouts like when I'm doing bench, I can feel my core for once engaging. When I do deadlifts, I feel my core a lot better. Now the downside to that is I do have to start wearing a belt, especially on the deadlift, because of this. But even though my core starts to fatigue a little bit faster, I'm just glad I'm getting good use out of it. So for these next couple of exercises, I'm gonna do some leg press with my feet pretty high on the machine. You're probably wondering why. So I like to do more glute focus on the leg press itself because I feel like I miss out on the glutes a lot when I do my leg workouts. They're kind of like the calves a little bit, where you kind of tend to forget about them. So I want to work on strengthening those as well, because I feel like the legs in general, when you get your legs stronger and you get your legs bigger, it sets a better foundation for the rest of your body to follow suit. So if you want a bigger chest, build a bigger back. I feel like when you build bigger legs, all of those things are going to be easier, and those lifts are also going to it's going to come in handy to have strength in your legs, especially the leg drive on the bench, which is the main lift I'm trying to improve right now. And so I just do progressive overload on the leg press. I add about 15 to 25 pounds with each set. I'm doing working sets of 5, and usually I would do a lot more reps, but to be honest, I over fatigue myself usually when I do leg workouts, just because I'm kind of guessing. I'm just kind of finding what works for me, and I think that after watching some Renaissance periodization and shortening the rest periods between my working sets, I've found a little bit of a hybrid between strength and hypertrophy with that exercise. So for the next one, we're going to move on to leg extension, and I wish I had it on camera, man. This guy was sitting at this machine, I kid you not, for 20 minutes on his phone. I don't know if he's on Instagram. I don't know if he's having a hard time, texting his girl or whatnot, whatever the case. If you're on your phone and you're using a machine that other people are wanting to use, I would just recommend not doing that, because it's kind of not courteous, but also this is like the most popular machine, this and probably the lat pull down. So if you want to do this on the leg curl or the machine incline bench, go for it, but please don't get on leg extension. So yeah, me and the guy behind me, We actually ended up sharing because we were waiting so long. So when he was doing his sets, I was resting, and when I would do my sets, he was resting. So it's actually pretty cool. And one thing I like about gym culture nowadays, I know people talk about how bad it is, but just being able to like understand, you know, we're all waiting on a machine. We all want to get in, get out, and do our thing. So, you know, just finding ways to share and be courteous to other people. That's always a pro of going to a college gym, especially. And so right here, I usually do about 3 to 4 working sets. I can't forget if I did reps of 8 or 10 here, but I was really focused on the slow eccentric part. You can kind of see it right there. I'm doing about 110 right here, and I think I went too heavy, to be honest. I usually would probably do that as my top set, but I was also ready to get out of there because I was waiting so long for this stupid machine. And I also don't like this leg extension. I like the one where it's a single bar more, and I'll still do individual legs, but this one just felt really odd to me. So finishing off with some core work, more core work. And here, this actually does work the upper part of my thighs. I really couldn't tell you what muscle it is at this point. I'm just focused on my core not exploding because it's really tight right here. So I do some leg raises, 5 to 6 reps, and I go straight into weighted Russian twist. And I kind of put a twist on the Russian twist. I actually add some 40-pound kettlebells to this, and I add a rest touch in between. What this does is I have to focus on keeping my legs as still as possible, which, as you can see, I can do a way better job of in the future. But my legs are not touching the floor at all, and you're having to basically control a lot of different things. Number one, when I'm touching, I'm actually not touching to the side, I'm touching behind. And when you're picking up that kettlebell, that added weight just does a lot for the obliques, I've noticed. So when you do the leg raise itself, you feel it a lot in your lower. To be honest, you feel it in all of your abs, your lower and your upper abs, but hitting the oblique work with the Russian twist right after it just really is a perfect combination, and it works for me. And that's the most important part of, you know, going to the gym. You just find what works for you. So yeah, I kind of ended with this. Usually I would do more in a leg workout, but I want to over fatigue myself just because I went pretty heavy on the leg press. I did about 495, and since I've never squatted with that much depth before, I didn't want to go too heavy and mess myself up for my rest day. And for me, rest days are kind of weird with leg days because even though my rest day is right after, I always feel the soreness of my legs on the second day, on the second rest day, which is my push day / chest day. So just one thing to be aware of going forward. And I actually finished out with some cardio, a little bit of boxing movements. I'm trying to get better at my combinations, and eventually I'm going to add more speed and power to that as well in the future. But yeah, this is my leg workout. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm really excited to start bringing more content and just giving kind of an in-depth look into what I do and how I like to stay in shape and what my philosophy is. So if you like the video, go ahead and like and comment down below. Subscribe to my channel if you want to watch future videos, and hit that notification bell. All right, y'all, I'm signing out. Take it easy.